Welcome back to another Creative Encounter podcast. I'm your host, Juiette, and we thank you so much for tuning in to another episode. If you are watching on YouTube, I ask that you will subscribe. If you are on Spotify, please leave a rating. And if you're on Apple Podcasts, please leave a review. We would love to hear from you guys. But today I have a very special guest, a good friend of mine of over, 20 plus years.
Yeah, it has to be.
Insane. This is my guy, Gabe Lopez. How you doing, G?
Doing wonderful.
Man,
How
dude,
are
so
you?
good to see you. I'm doing great, man.
Yeah.
This is so cool. So, bro, first I just want to thank you for coming out, because even when I asked you to come, I made sure to let you know that you are like one of my literally biggest inspirations as it comes to
That means a lot.
creativity, worship, just all of it, dude. Like you don't even know. Like I tell Gabby all the time, like you're like literally like if not like my biggest influence, you're like way up there, dude.
That's
like I look
huge.
up to you so much, dude.
Yeah, that means a lot.
Yeah, dude. So I really appreciate you coming out. But how you doing and the family doing?
Doing wonderful. Family's great. We're just in a good season.
Yeah.
I mean, every season, even though seasons are different, they feel and look different. I mean, all of them are great in some ways. Even if they're hard, they're great. But this is really, just a different kind of season in life where my son is just getting older and older. He's gonna be a grown man this year, 18, and so I know it's a while.
He's literally just a baby, dude. I remember.
Seriously.
Holy smokes.
He still wets his pants and things like that, but it's
And he's gonna write on the he's gonna be like, Dad, I told you not to tell him. Oh wow.
And me and my wife, are now children's pastors, and that's a whole different kind of season as well. So everything is new. Friendships are new. Relationships are new.
Yeah.
But all in all, we're doing great.
That's awesome, dude. All right, so you're telling me about like the new seasons of life right now.
Yeah.
We're gonna go back a little bit to not a little bit. We're gonna go way back real quick.
Let's do it.
Because Diversity.
Yeah.
Saturday mornings.
Uh-huh.
What was it, like 9 a.m. Downstairs rehearsal.
Yeah.
Dude. Youth ministry. So like Gabe, like. Okay, so you guys know I say this pretty much like all the time. When I started playing music, it was because when Drumline came out. So when the movie Drumline came out, that's why I started playing drums.
Yeah.
And then I was just like barely starting and stuff. But then Gabe invited me to be on the worship team. He was the youth worship team leader at the time, and we have Saturday morning rehearsals where we're like 14. 15. So like I was like 14, maybe you're maybe like 16, 17, I don't know. But dude, that was crazy, dude. Yeah. So like how did all of that start as a musician, as an art? How did you start getting into playing guitar and singing and all of that?
Yeah, it's all my dad. Watching my father, who was a worship leader.
Am I youth pastor, y'all? What a fascinating.
But no, I mean, when we were babies, we always had a drum set in the basement. 'Cause he was a drummer. He drummed in a rock band in the 70s, 80s, and things like that. And so drums were always, in the basement. And so me and my brother, and even my younger sister, would just be in the basement for hours. And I love that I was raised in the 80s and 90s when, American Online was barely even out.
Wow, dude, you just went way back.
And so,
holy smokes.
And so nothing was in the way of like, hey, if we're home, I'm bored, your homework is done, or whatever, friends are inside on the block or whatever, I'm just going to be in the basement, like I'll see your mom and dad in a couple of hours, and then it just
love it.
Yeah, and I'm thankful that I was raised in a home where noise in the house wasn't an issue.
Exactly.
And so because like when my dad wasn't playing, it was me, and if I wasn't, it was Aaron, my older brother. If he wasn't playing, every once in a while would be my sister, but drums are always around. And then so
now, will we say that was your first instrument technically?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, absolutely. And then it wasn't until I was like 11 or 12. That's when Passion one day That record, I think, is pivotal in my life. It changed everything for me as far as worship, and I mean, isn't in a musical sense.
Yeah.
In leading,
Yeah.
changed my life. I would lay in bed and listen to that album. But my dad was youth pastoring at Evangel. Had no worship leader, and so he taught himself how to play acoustic. Took a couple lessons, and then so I got the overflow of that, and these are memories that I have in my head. When he's practicing in the kitchen, and I would just be sitting on the floor, watching him, or just being around at the dinner table, and he's practicing, and so he showed me, what a G is, what a D is, what a C is. And then, what he did really well was, he never like forced it on us. We were just always around music and art, and so like as soon as he taught us all the basics, and same with the drums, just showed us how to keep time, how to have a beat. Everything else was, hey, have fun in the basement on the drums and figure it out, or. And same with the guitar, he taught us a couple chords and kind of just like let us, gave us the freedom, let us have fun and play, and so, crazy. and everything else like the keyboards or whatever was all just like being at church and watching the keyboardists and learning all of that.
Yeah, that's crazy. So, I love it.
Yeah.
I see a lot of themes here. It's like whenever there's like a need. That's when like God kind of develops gifts in us, So you're saying initially, so I know he was over UIC, and then he started playing.
The name of the youth group.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Right. I need to let these people know, right?
And not the college.
Not the college, right? He was not over at UIC college. So Pastor Danny Lopez is like one of my one of my mentors, my pastor.
Same.
Love him so much. Oh my goodness. But pretty much, Pastor Danny was our youth leader growing up. And our youth ministry was UIC, United in Christ Youth Ministry, back at Evangel, at the time, Evangel Assembly of God, under Pastor Ray Berryhill. Okay, so now you saying at the time they needed worship, so then that's when he started playing? But then you started playing and then that's when you took over?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because, I wasn't allowed in the youth. Okay. Well, I mean, I was always around, but it wasn't until, it was like as soon as I turned 13.
Oh, yeah, certain age to...
then I was allowed to get involved in youth group and things like that, and I was already kind of familiar. And there's a picture that I have on my phone. Back on the youth group. I had a microphone, on the sound hole, and I was just kind of like... with the guitar, and so at 13, 14 years old...
That's going to be our thumbnail right there.
Yeah. With the Jinko shirt on.
Hilarious.
And the baggiest pants ever.
Dude, it's so funny because it's like thinking back. Obviously, I didn't play guitar yet.
Yeah.
So looking, and you telling me you were barely just starting to play. So to me in my eyes, I'm just thinking like, he's been playing for years. Based off of when you first kind of see someone playing and stuff. That's so dope hearing that backstory because I had no idea.
I was like 11 or 12, and then I mentioned passion. It's kind of just like learning all those worship songs.
Yeah, Passion was huge. I love Passion. Yeah. Okay, that's awesome, dude. Okay, so from there, I mean, I'm telling you, like, Gabe is one of those creatives who pretty much anything with the arts does all of it. So we're talking about the music side, but there's a whole side, as a painter, as a sketch artist, as a visual artist, graphic design, like, he kind of, like, does it all, which is, like, amazing. But then from there, you started songwriting as well. Yeah. So how did the songwriting kind of start developing as well?
High school.
Okay.
Yeah. I wouldn't even say worship songs. It was high school. I sing the first song I've ever written in my head all the time.
Really?
It's called "It's Over."
Okay.
You
like thinking about the lyrics, oh no.
Yeah, because I was never in a relationship at that time. But
that's always one of those type of songs, dude. That's hilarious.
So I was in high school.
Yeah.
And teamed up with a couple of buddies. Yeah. And we formed a pop punk band. Yeah. Problem of the Day is the name of it.
Nice.
I miss it. I miss that band and the guys.
Yeah. Are you still connected with them?
The drummer, Chucky.
Oh, okay.
Friends with him on socials.
That's what's up.
and Ryan as well, but like we haven't talked in years. Enrique, I've been thinking about him all the time.
Wow.
But like I lost his number. I tried reaching out actually to like similar friends.
Hey, bro, if you're watching this, you need to hit up
I know,
Gabe, 'cause he lost your number.
I miss him so much.
I'm just kidding.
But yeah, so I wrote one of our first songs. And it was like one of our most popular ones also. It was called "It's Over," and the first and ever a relationship song I think I've ever written. I mean, everything else, and I say this all the time, is well, I mean, mostly everything I write is worship music or about God or of God or when He's doing in seasons. But like I try to write about anything else, and I just I can't. It's kind of just like there's no heart or motivation in it. But that's the first one I think I've ever written. But then we wrote a bunch of other songs, but I mean it was all like just helping out, co-writing all the other songs. But yeah, I mean I only songwrite when I need to. It's not a muscle, so it takes effort. I could be better at it. I think about it all the time. But yeah, it's one of my weaker muscles. But like, when God is saying something, or if I'm just in the season or something's going on, that's when I put pen on paper or thumbs on screen and write the song.
Yeah, I love it.
But Nothing Else Matters, I think is one of the first ones or like the first worship songs. That came out of me, and that's when I was, I just moved out on my own, and I remember sitting in the hallway, at this little hallway, and I was sitting on the floor. Again, another vivid memory. Back against the wall, like legs up on the other side of the hallway because it was such a thin hallway, and I wrote "Nothing Else Matters." That's a song that's been with me for years.
That's been with me for years. Dude. You know I love that song, dude. Oh my goodness.
And then all the other ones that I forget about, and you're like, oh, do you remember this song?
I'm
like, oh my god.
I literally hit up Gabe. I'm like, because I'll be, dude, ask Gabby, bro. Like, because some of the stuff you say, you need like a witness to make sure it's real. Ask Gabby. I'll be like walking around the house, like singing your joints, like almost like all the time. And then I'll be like, I'm gonna text Gabe, be like, hey, Gabe, remember when you wrote this or whatever? Like, send like a voice message and stuff. He's like, dude, you know. And then he makes me so frustrated because he goes, oh, I forgot about that one or something. I'm like,
and then come on,
like, dude, you need to record. Everybody needs to be singing this. Like, this needs to be at the next Passion conference. Like, dude, man, but I love it so much, bro. So pretty much that just kind of shows, man. Oh yeah, but so that pretty much shows like God has called you into that ministry to be a worship leader. You've done so much of that at the churches we've been at. New Life, Evangel, New Life, doing that and everything. So, how has it been like infusing your spirituality, your relationship with God, into your creativity all around? Like, because again, you can even now kind of speak on the fact of you being a painter, you doing all those things too. How do you see like God being infused in all of that?
Oh yeah, I mean that's a big one because I can say it in many different ways, but where do I begin? Because it's all because of him, and so like I want to say it in like a deeper, a philosophical way, but that's why I'm thinking so hard. But everything I make sure I do it for our relationship first, and so again, that's why I'm so happy I was born in the '80s and like raised in the '90s and things like that, because I didn't have to worry about monetizing any of my gifts or learning a G, and then setting the phone up and being like G, and showing the world that I can I could play a song. It's all rooted in just my relationship with God and having fun with Him, with my gifts. It's like one of the joys of being a parent is gifting your child something, and then him or her offering it back as in like, oh, play with me with it. Let's have fun with it, which inevitably deepens your relationship with your child. And so I kind of picture it the same way. I mean, we call them gifts. And so I treat them as such. And so like if I'm, have a passion for painting, and I do, and I haven't like, sat with the canvas in years, but I, I had a season in life where I was painting full time. But if that's a gift, I offer it back to him. And then I invite him in and we play. And so it's just an element of having fun with God and playing with Him in your giftings. That's how I guess I treat everything, all of my gifts. And so, and if doors and opportunity open up, then all right, I'll take them. But that's not my sole reason. That's not why I'm a painter, or that's not my identity as a musician or a producer. It's not who I am as a person. It's one of my gifts, and if I have an opportunity, then I'll take it. Or much like what you do, I use all my gifts, and I keep my hands open for other people. If you need anything, if you need a video, if you need a photo shoot, if you need a graphic, if you need a logo, if you need a song, if you need a session or a single out, I mean, I'm sitting on all the gear. I mean, let's go ahead and do that. Exactly. How can I help you and serve you, and help you get from point A to B? And that's the heart of the Father. And so that, like, circles back to, it's a gift. And so I have to give it away. But we can ramble on that topic in a while. But short answer is, He's in everything. His heartbeat is in every single one of my gifts. And so, I mean, He could take them. And I'm sorry, I'm going to keep on rambling for one more second, because it's an example. Just our whole season into shifting over into children's pastors now was a lesson in holding our gifts loosely. Because me and my wife, for the past 7 years or so, we're doing full-time children's music, opened a business. Excuse me. Writing children's songs, producing children's records, and I was doing picture books and things like that. I've had an opportunity which kind of forced us to sit and realize, what about our business? And is this going to take us away from, what we're doing and all of that? And quickly realized that, dude, if we're holding on to our giftings or holding on to what God has given us and putting it in the way of where He's calling us, that's an idol, and that's not good. And so there was a realization of, oh my gosh, like, if this is where You're calling us, and everything is saying it is, or everyone and everything is showing that this is where You're leading us, then who are we to be like, oh no, I'm going to pass on that because my gifting is doing so well and making us money and so on and so forth. And so even worship leading, because I was a worship pastor at New Life, and so I'm like, oh no, because I'm leading worship, and that's my lane, and so I'm gonna say no.
Mm-hmm.
That could even be an idol, and so we just have to hold everything loosely.
Wow.
And so our giftings, our creativity, all of that is open-handed. Take it if you need it, Lord.
Yeah.
If that's what you're leading me to, if I have to get this off of me, take it. Done. Sorry.
Yeah. So that was perfect answer, dude. That was crazy. Dude, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So that's huge for like creatives to hear, because being able to like I guess discern when is the time to continue to hold on to something and when God's calling you to a different season. Because some stuff is like, okay, this is what you're passionate about. This is what you feel your calling is. Do you feel, a shifting over here? But then at the same time, it is like this whole thing of like, man, like over here, this is going so well, or I'm actually really trying to do this. Then you think about how much time you have, how many, years you have that you can dedicate towards this. And now you're going into this new thing. How was that shift and pivot for you guys into now? It's like, well, it's a whole new lane. Like I would never, even when you told me you had that conversation about the children's ministry, I was like, whoa, like that's something brand new.
Yeah.
How was it? Was there any type of, I'll even say like resentment or like reserves towards it? Because it's like, man, like, this is kind of flowing over here. Now we're about to do this new thing. Like how were the emotions and feelings and everything towards it?
And this is the reward. And see, and that's why I'm saying this whole season in life is different, but it's been teaching us so much. It's been great. We're living in the reward of surrender and sacrifice.
Wow.
Because our role now is a culmination of everything that he's given us, and pouring it directly into a generation that needs it more than ever before. And so like our songwriting, our design, our production, Bible knowledge, like whatever, our leadership experience, all of that is wrapped up and tied with a bow in this new season. And so if we hadn't have surrendered and given him our gifts, we'd be missing out on all this. And we have seen time and time again where he's reassured us that this is where he needs us to be. And so yeah, it was risky, and it took a lot of hard conversations between me and my wife. But I'm so glad that we did. It was a risk, and so we just had to jump and really utilize our faith. And so it was risky. It was nerve-wracking, but a surrender is everything. Yeah, basically.
Man, dude, that's awesome, dude. That's something like I personally needed to hear because it's like we do see those moments where our gifts can be opportunities for others, but sometimes we could just be so fixated on, what can I get from it? Because I like the perspective you're saying. You see a gift as a gift that should be shared with others. Or sometimes we can think of a gift as like, oh, this is my gift from God. I can use it as I please, But at the end of the day, like you said, the Father's heart is to be a servant and to serve others. So it's surrendering kind of has like this, kind of effect where it's like, okay, on one end, it's like, oh man, I'm kind of giving up what I think is perfect. But on the other side, you're like, oh wow, you already know God's way is always going to be the best way. So the cool thing is like everything that you've learned and had up to this point is now, like you said, investing in the next generation. So that's so cool. It's not like it's a brand new thing and it's detached from everything you've done before. It's still connecting. And I think that's the beauty of God, because he still cares for us in the sense of he knows like what our desires are. And he won't just be like, oh, forget your desires. He's going to do something new, and that's it.
Yeah.
He builds us, and he still uses those things because we're still excited about those things.
Yeah.
You know, I always go back to those simple moments of just like, you know, we always talk about, you know, how much I love Switchfoot, John Foreman, and all of that, right?
Yeah.
And it's simple stuff. Like, God sees us on stuff that's not even like going to be the most dynamic thing in heaven, but it'll be those moments where it was literally like around my birthday, and that's when like I had the opportunity to like meet John Foreman and stuff. You know, I always look at it, I'm like, man, those are like little moments, or even like the, you know, you played at our wedding, Only Hope. Yeah. You know, it's cool. And it's so cool. Gabby and I got married on Gabe's birthday. Yeah. And Gabe still came out playing guitar. Were you playing guitar?
Yeah.
Yeah, Gabe played guitar at our wedding, which was awesome. And he played Only Hope, one of my favorite songs. Yeah. But it was so cool because when we met John Foreman, he played it for us. We told him, he was like, oh, that was our wedding song. And he played it for us. We were like, oh, the songwriter's playing it. Like, we were freaking out, you know. So it was just so cool. But like those little moments are like a little drop, like in eternity. But God loves to pretty much just bless us with those little things and stuff too, you know. So he always sees us, you know.
Yeah, we can often forget that that he knows us better than we know ourselves, and that he genuinely wants what's best for us, and so why doubt it, you know, and why try to figure it out on your own? You know, silliness.
Yeah, wow, dude. I love it. Okay, bro. So we've talked about everything culminating up to this point. Tell me right now, as Gabe, like what's some projects, or I know you know you're in this new season with your wife and the ministry that you're doing. What's some projects and things that you're working on as an artist, whether it's on the music tip, on the visual tip? What's some things that you're working on that we can expect coming soon?
Oh yeah, one I'm very excited about. I mean, obviously every record I do or whatever I do, I'm excited about. But this one, I think I'm really excited about because it is what I think I want in a selfish way made. Yeah. And so we're taking, we've been releasing music under our children's ministry name. And so we're working on a project, taking all the old Sunday school hymns and breathing new life into them. And so we have, I mean, he's got the whole world in his hands. We have Peace Like a River, Rejoice in the Lord Always.
And these will be like children renditions?
Yeah. And
like, see, like kind of like what age bracket is it?
And that's a whole topic as well. That's a whole other like viewpoint that I have. Like you know, I mean, if it's children's music, then it has to sound a certain way. Where I don't you know fully vibe with. But I
mean, if you're serious about this, it needs to have some heavy metal sound to it.
Where are the breakdowns?
Right, exactly. Songs? You need to. I'm looking for 5/8 timing.
Super tripped out. Yeah. But it's a family record, which means you know, play it in the car with your kids, but also you know, on your own time as an adult or as a parent, you know, you can enjoy it as well, which has always been our direction with my wife and I. Because the parent is the one who has to sit and listen to the album as well, or put it on in the car, and so you know we want them to be excited.
Yeah, for it to be enjoyable for them too.
to have it on over and over and over again, and not be like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. Yep.
And so so I'm really excited about it, and we're almost finished with it. Should be done at the end of the month.
Because I was just going to ask, are we expecting it for this year, maybe?
Oh yeah. I'm usually when I I'm not patient. I finish it and I get it out.
Yeah, that's good.
But with this one, like if I do everything according to how the system wants us to, I'll do a single. I'll wait the 4 weeks. Yeah. I'll pre-save, all that, and then I'll wait another 4 weeks, and then get the album out. Yeah. But and the only reason I'm saying that is because I'm so excited about it that I would want to see the most of it, and
exactly.
and I don't want to rob it from the fullness of what it can have, marketing wise.
Yeah.
And reaching everyone it should reach.
Yeah.
So I'll do that. I'll play by the rules.
Yeah. Right.
And then simultaneously, I'm contracted in another picture book, and so this will be my 4th picture book.
Love it.
Working with the author. Her name is Abby.
Yeah.
Never met her. Don't know anything about her.
Oh, wow.
But we chat on the phone every once in a while, and I'm excited about this one. I mean, I told myself in last year, I think, that I'm gonna hold off on picture books. I'm not gonna do it because it's such a time investment.
Okay.
And so, and I don't want to take away from the attention of where. Sorry, I'm losing my train of thought. Of where it should be.
Yeah.
My attention and effort.
Yeah.
Things like that.
Yep.
But it was like, hey, I was gonna do her cover, and that was our first agreement. Or that's all she needed at first, but then it's kind of just snowballed into, and now I'm doing the whole book. So I'm like, sure, yeah. I'll do it. And
there we go. Now you said this is your 4th
picture book, yeah.
4th picture book. Your 4th with her, or just 4th in general?
In general.
Okay, so it's your first time working with Abby, I think.
With her, yeah.
Very cool, man. Congrats, bro.
Yeah, thanks.
That's so cool. That's nice, man.
Yeah, I'm excited about it, but not as excited about
that record.
The music side of things.
Man, I can't wait for that. Love it.
Um,
now, is it still under the Little Parade?
Yeah, so everything done under our children's or the church record would be in partnership with Little Parade.
Okay.
So
now you guys started that name and everything, right?
A Little Parade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love it. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
me and Carla. That's our thing.
Yeah. So Carla and Gabe have. And you guys need to check this out. And all these links are going to be in the description.
Oh,
so
thanks.
make sure. Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, make sure you guys click all of that because this is some great content for your children too. It also has language. So you got the Spanish. Some of the songs you got the Spanish up in there.
Españols.
So Español, Españolis. So they're learning through that too. So it's just so cool. And then you got the beautiful part, like you said, there's going to be some spiritual songs, some Christian songs. So it'll be such a blessing for them.
Yeah.
So that's going to be so cool.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. What are you working on?
Yeah, what am I working on?
Other than the podcast, yeah.
Oh,
anything
man,
on the pipeline?
So you just encouraged me because I've been working on the second album for a minute.
Yeah.
And literally it's all
It's been
recorded.
a few years since
Dude,
you
it's
released
literally been
something.
recorded.
Yeah.
It needs to be, because what happens is, what this is helping me to do is get more sharp and focused too, because I can find myself starting and launching and venturing into, I have an idea and I'm good with executing.
Yeah.
But sometimes that could be to your demise because you can start too many things.
Yeah.
So that's why we have our beautiful spouses. Gabby is always helping with babe, this is a great idea.
Yeah.
Focus on finishing this thing first.
Yeah.
Then let's talk about. So she's really helping with that. So that's what's in the works right now. And next episode, I'm going to be talking about some new stuff too, as far as a TV show I was on. That's going to be the next episode too.
Post on that.
Yeah. So be talking about that soon. That'll be for the next podcast
The
after
Box
this
or
one.
something like that?
Blocks. Yeah.
Blocks. Yeah.
So that's going to be cool. So we'll talk more about that.
Yeah, it'll be in the links. He'll link all that in the section.
When we watch this, the Gabe podcast, it just changed some kind of way. Like, what?
Check those things.
Even when we look like all of this is different. It's like, oh, my
Game
goodness.
encounter.
Right? So we've been acting real classy and stuff, but when we get together, we're usually for good, forever. We'll just be acting like this on the floor.
Tears. Yeah.
Hilarious. Dude, this was amazing, bro. Thank you so much for being on here. And now the last thing, we always leave people with a question or something to just kind of leave them with.
Okay.
What's something that you want to leave for our viewers, for our creatives, just as a motivator or something to ponder on? What's something that we can kind of leave them with?
Just take the glasses off.
And the pinky.
I don't even have anything in my hands, but just
You like this.
Yeah, why is he? Man, these are big questions. I think I'll just circle back just to keep things all aligned. But I would encourage you, please, never separate your gifts from God. Keep them one and the same. and have fun with him, play with him.
Yeah.
God is young. He's a playful God. And so put his heartbeat in the gift. Then I believe you'll see the fullness of your gifting, the fullness of your calling. If you're saying, I'm called as a painter, or I'm called as a receptionist, I'm called as a baker. If his heartbeat is alongside the gifting, as it should be, then I think you'll see the fullness of it. Because then you'll see it as an act of service, other than, well, this is, for me, this is a money maker. This is how I'm going to live. This is how I'm going to see the world and travel. This is how I'm going to get the big house. This is how I'm going to get the Tesla. This is how I'm going to get whatever. I'm such a dork by saying Tesla, but because there's way better cars than that. But no.
The moped.
Yeah. Oh gosh, yeah. That's my. But no. So I think the point is, then you'll see the fullness of it. It'll carry his heart, his language, which means ultimately it's all about other people. And so, keep them hand in hand.
Dude, even just how you wrap that up again, I don't even care about y'all right now. like literally, like Gabe is like blessing me right now. Right. So what were you saying? Dude, like that's what I'm saying. Like that encouraged and motivate me. And again, I just want to stress this, like, because sometimes we keep things to ourselves and we don't really say things to people, which we need to do a better job at. But you literally are one of my biggest inspirations.
Thank you.
Yes, and I want you to know that. I want to, publicly say that. So even just this right now was just such a blessing to me. I'm going to really be encouraged rewatching the editing process and rewatching this episode. Is really going to be a blessing to me and help me to steer my year, my 2023, in the right direction just from the stuff we've talked about. So I really appreciate you.
Yeah, it means a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, you just had Antonia Rupert in there, who like anything she says, I'm like, say that again.
Yeah. Tony killed it.
And so having you say that, it means a lot, and
dude.
That's heavy. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Love you, dude.
Well, I love you too, bro. Well, guys, this is my guy Gabe Lopez. Thank you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Please follow Creative Encounter, do all of the subscription and the review and the ratings and all that stuff. If you want to partner with Juiette Pain Music and Creative Encounter, please, the link will be there to be a monthly partner to support the ministry. We keep doing the podcast. We have the events for artists to be able to perform and get fed and everything like that too. So we just appreciate you guys and love you, and we will see you on the next one.
See ya.